All right, good morning, everybody. I love when this song's the first song for the morning. Very exciting. Here we go. All right, everybody. It is Wednesday morning, April the 29th, 5:07, 53 degrees here in Hampstead, Maryland. And I believe we are ready to roll. One more thing I gotta do here real quick. Boom, 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 boom. Come on. Come on, do your thing. Do your thing. There we go. Okay, here we go. We're ready to roll. Ready to roll. Let's go out and pursue some happiness. Let's turn the lights on for safety. Seat belts on. Let's get going. We have 2 deliveries today. Lenny's and What a Day. And they're both in the van. So we got one trip, 2 deliveries. I think I'm gonna get gas today. Make that zoom out a little bit. I like a little bit. There we go, right there. I figure out how to set that permanently. All right, here we go. Wednesday morning, let's go. Oh look, we got a light. Oh, we're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it. I don't want to get in front of these people. I'm gonna let these people go. It's the commuter crowd. I don't want to be in front of them. See, they're very busy. They're very excited. Look at them all go. They're very excited. Let me get to work. Oh, more of them. More of them. So this little gap, but then we got another group. Yay, it's Wednesday. I can't wait to get to work. Yay. Here we go. Woo! Boo! They are flying. They're so excited. I love commuters. All right, I'm going after these 2. I'm just gonna do it. There's one more person back there, but he's a slacker. That's the guy that still hangs out in the lunchroom, waiting for that last donut. You know what I mean? Oh, we'll catch up to them. We'll catch up to all those people. There's gonna be a long line of traffic. But they move okay. They move at a relatively good pace. So today our days and What a Day. And so they're both securely fastened in the back of the truck. The donuts are buckled in. I think it's going to rain later today, but right now it's not bad. 52 degrees, cloudy, but it doesn't feel too bad. I did see a deer. I did see a deer on my way up this morning, standing on the side of the road, just checking things out. Somewhere. It wasn't this section, it was the next section of this road. Why is that music so? I think this song is super quiet. Yeah. So this song, you can hardly hear it, right? And I remember I used to turn up the music, so that I could hear that one. But then the next song would come on and it would be so loud that the shock waves almost broke the windows in the van. So I decided not to do that anymore. I think I'm going to get gas today too. I didn't bring a cookie. But I'm at half a tank right now. But I don't drive tomorrow. So he would just barely have enough to do tomorrow's trip and Friday. You know what I mean? So I might as well get it. I might as well buy the gas today. I did notice that prices jumped up a little bit last night. Like we're back over $4 right now, but what are you gonna do? You gotta play the game. You gotta play the game. I recently bought a new phone, and so I went through that whole, actually it was a relatively smooth process, moving everything from my old phone to my new phone. I mean, it took a little while for everything to transfer over. I didn't move all the pictures and the videos and all that stuff. I'm like, no, I want to start fresh. I actually want to keep that stuff off my phone. So like if I do take a video on my phone, I'm just gonna like move it to the computer or some other place as quickly as possible. But there are some things that are still happening on my old phone. I bring this up because, so this morning was one of those days where I woke up to my alarm. Usually I wake up before my alarm, but today I woke up like maybe an hour and 15 minutes before. So I went back to sleep and ended up waking up to the alarm. But the alarm is still happening on my old phone, which is in my bag that I carry when because I'm gonna use that phone eventually for one of the. Oh Lord, now I'm getting mixed up with the commuters. Hang on one second, please hold. Gotta concentrate. These are all those people. This is where this is where we set our positions for the long haul down to the highway. We're locked in now. We're locked in. That really is what happens right there. This is where I mean, there are people that get crazy and pass and all that kind of stuff, but basically this is our position until we get down to Reisterstown. Approximately 10 miles. So I wake up, my alarm's going off, and I got the phone like next to the bed, so I turn that off, and then I hear this noise. I'm like, what? I turned my alarm off, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. It was the phone inside the bag, which was, I don't know, maybe 20 feet from the bed, but I could hear it going off. So I got to fix that. I just turned the alarm off. I didn't go through the process of permanently stopping it, so I got to do that. Yesterday we had a long a long live stream yesterday. Today's going to be like, with the 2 deliveries, it's generally 2 hours, give or take 15, 20 minutes, but it's about 2 hours to do this trip. I want to put a map on the website so you can kind of get a visual idea of where I'm going, where I am and where I'm going. You know, like what the loop looks like. But yesterday we were on for maybe 3.5, almost 4 hours, I think, because I went up to Pennsylvania. And it takes my videos so long to process. Like, you can see them right away, but the replays that you see, if they're like an hour, 2 hours long, sometimes I can download them at the end of by the end of the night. So like, here I am driving at 5 o'clock in the morning. Maybe by 7 or 8 o'clock, I'll be able to do something with this video. But that 3-hour, 4-hour trip yesterday, wasn't done. I didn't look at it this morning either. I didn't go into YouTube this morning. But it takes so long for the videos to I guess it's a long video, but it does take a while for it to process. I think the bigger your channel is, the faster they process. So, you know, maybe that'll get better as time goes on. But yeah, I wish I could just go home and like, boom, do something with the video. I really can't complain though. If you think about it, YouTube is hosting all of this material. It's a lot. And they do look better. Like, the replays do eliminate all the, you know, buffering moments and stuff like that for the most part. And they clear up. They make it look a little better, a little sharper. So they do actually enhance the, you know, like they clean it up a little bit and enhance the replay the video, but it takes a while. Behind the scenes info. The life of a YouTube live streamer. You know, I was watching last night before I went into Kendra's live stream. Her channel is Consume the Goodness, and she does a live stream on Tuesday evenings. So that was fun. So I was getting ready for that. So I was online. Maybe it was after that. No, it was before that. And I watched this video. If anybody's familiar with the channel Ian on YouTube, it's the guy that he like worked at 7-Eleven for a while. I wasn't watching him then, but I think he was live streaming from his job. I know he was, because I've seen some of the videos. And he's moved from California to Arkansas, and I periodically check in. So he recently made a video about trolls, and I hadn't thought about it, but you know, he was starting to live stream from this new job. He's working like at a gas station that has a convenience store attached to it. And I think he's doing the night shift there. But I hadn't thought about it, but you know, he's gotten pretty big. I think he has more than 250,000 people and all that. So he's pretty big. And he had people that, like trolls, instead of just like sending weird messages, you know, I mean, you think about trolls just being the people that send a goofy message in your live stream or something, or put a comment in that's just like nasty and stuff like that. But there's like a next level to trolls sometimes. So there are people that actually like will call the establishment and, you know, like just mess with him at work. Like I think he said sometimes people just call it stupid stuff, like they'll order a pizza, you know, they'll say they're going to come in to pick up a pizza or something, and they don't. Things like that. So he gets more of that kind of thing. But, yeah, I don't want to spoil the video, but he explains a situation that kind of got a little personal. And it's like, wow, you know, I never thought about that. So I think he's not going to live stream from work anymore. And I think he's kind of struggling with that. But I hadn't thought about that. He's pretty funny, though. You know, I look at YouTube videos. Basically, it's research. I don't do it for entertainment reasons. I do it for research. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I do learn a lot from YouTube. All right, let's see. Highway or business route? Highway or business? Highway or business? We're going highway. We're going highway today. Maybe I should start having viewers tell me which way we're going to go. Oh, it's green light. It's a long green light. Thought maybe we were going to make this one. See, here you go. I think I've mentioned at this light that many times these are people from Pennsylvania. Boom, there you go, both of them. It's the early morning Pennsylvania people that come down. What the heck is this? This song is bizarre. This copyright-free music, though, the songs are only like 2 minutes long, so there is one that's like 10 minutes long. It's like the American Pie version of copy-free music.
594 says good morning.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Hump Day. We're on our way to Lenny's. We have 2 deliveries today. Lenny's order today is kind of weird. They always get a lot of Danish, so that's a given. And they always get a fair amount of chocolate top cookies. Today they've gone totally berserk. They're getting 100 chocolate top cookies, but they're not getting any cake. They're not getting any eclairs. So they've just decided that today they're just going to go hog wild with chocolate top cookies.
Anaku594 says if you were waiting for us to give you directions, you would still be in your driveway.
Well, that's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I'd have to give you more warning. You know, like as I'm coming down, when we get close to that, we've got the 795. 795 is this highway that we're on right now, and the business route is called Reisterstown Road. I would probably refer to it as the business route because Reisterstown Road is going to confuse people. But as I'm coming down, I figured I could probably say, all right, what are we going to do? Highway or business? Highway or business? You know, we got to change it up sometimes. I might even come up with a third. Maybe we can wind our way through the back roads. If I'm running a little early, maybe I could do that. Actually, today we are running a little early. I left the bakery about 5 minutes early, 5 or 10 minutes early. The donuts were ready. Usually like midweek, as long as everything's running smoothly. It's not that, you know, Tuesdays, Wednesdays are not the busiest days. 6 miles, 6 minutes. The highway should be clear. That sign ever says, you know, like say 6 miles, 6 miles. It said 6 mile, which it's always going to say 6 miles because that's how far it is from that sign to the next highway that we go onto, 695. But if that ever said 6 miles, actually, if it says anything greater than 6 minutes, I usually get off at this exit, and then head over to the business route. Because if it says 6 miles, 7 or 8 minutes, the traffic will start backing up somewhere below this point. So I'm still able to get off the highway without really getting delayed. And if it says 7 or 8 minutes, that usually means something has happened. So by the time you get down here, it might be 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. So that's my highway strategy. I have temporarily given my dog a new nickname. His temporary nickname is Yogi. Yogi. And that's because yesterday I was eating yogurt, and which I love, vanilla Greek yogurt. I buy it in a great big, like, 2-pound container. And I'm not ashamed to say that I can usually finish an entire 2-pound container in one day. It sounds ridiculous, but I've done it. So yesterday I I think I was finishing it for the second day. I think it lasted 2 days, but I was finishing it, and I was gonna let AJ like lick around the edge of the yogurt container because he likes yogurt, and he was doing that, and then I put it down, walked away for a second, and when I came back, his nose was in the yogurt. He decided that he was going to try to get the yogurt that was in the bottom of the container. And he has a pretty long nose, but just like me. But he just had a sort of a ridge of yogurt, like at the top of his nose, and so I was calling him Yogi. He seemed to be okay with it. Flying up next to me here.
Hanaku594 says very cute.
Yeah, I should have taken a picture of him because he had this like white little circle. I have to teach him to, as he's licking out the container, he's got to lick around the top edge very well first. Then he can go in and try to get it from the bottom. Traffic is moving pretty good today.
Hanaku594 says I am sure that would go well.
That's good. Rolled right up on the green light there. Yesterday afternoon, I watched the King of England speech. I thought he did a really good job. Kind of amazing when you think about it. 250 years ago, we were fighting them. But yeah, no, he did a really good job. It was kind of funny. All right, here we go. Ladies. Here we are. stop number 1. Got everything parked. Good. Alright, I will be right back. Look, is she coming to get me? This is like I think they're trying to decide who's going to get the door. Good morning. Thank you.
Set up right. I know it's on the side.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I think that means this guy thinks he's doing me a favor by putting the rack down by the case, but it's actually for everybody. I'm going to get another one of these things and just leave it. Drive around with this magnet attached to the van. We'll just make it a permanent part of the van. What do you think? I don't remember how much it was. 15 bucks? Something like that. But I saw somebody. I didn't. There. There we go.
New York gal says good morning, Craig and Cat.
Hey, New York gal. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Our first tray full of cookies. See, I used to bring the tray down here and then roll it around, but it doesn't make any sense. Because I can just turn around and boom, there it is. Just a little bit higher than I would normally. Danish. They don't have any cakes today. No cake pops. Although it did look like their case. These look really good, these strawberry ones. Strawberry and cheese. There's the cheese. And here's the mixed up hodgepodge donuts, apple fritters, apple turnovers. Okay. We're going in. Oh, there's an employee that just pulled up. So I will leave the door open when I get in there. Oh, it's just gonna be like screaming. Leave the door open, leave the door open. You got it? You're welcome. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Good. There you go. What is today? Today's Wednesday. Should I check? Should I check on the check? Let's check on the check. We got time. Good morning.
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much. How are you?
Good.
What do you?
Probably not,
Probably not.
but I will check.
You want to check?
So,
Okay.
Hey, what's up, Julio? Ray, I ain't made it yet. Who? Ray. Tracy, you here? Yeah. Yeah, probably is. Look to the desk, they were not here last night.
Okay.
Yep.
It's all right.
Yep.
Hey, you know, at least we looked. Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
Have a good one. Check on the check. Trays. Let me take you off of here before I slam the door. Look, you see that trash can down there on the left? When I first stepped out of the van, I don't know what, there's like a piece of something sticking up, but it looked like, I thought it was a person's head. I thought there was like a person either standing at or in the trash can. I know, it sounds stupid, but that's what it looked like. All right, Lenny's is done. We're on our way to
Short
what
gal
a day.
says weird.
Weird. It did look like somebody, it's still, I don't know. I think because there's like, it's shaped sort of like a head, a small head, and then maybe shoulders. That's why it looks like a person. But it is kind of strange, I must admit. All right, here we go. This is called emotional music. Are you all feeling emotional? Oh, man, I'm not gonna go. Here we go, here we go.
Moxieman says I am up early. I have been injured in a rear-end collision yesterday. Rest in peace, Moxie Mogul. Now he's an organ donor. Winking face.
Aw, Moxie, are you all right? What happened? Here's the runner. Runner, we got a runner. That's not good. So your car is... Well, first, how are you doing? And secondly, what's going on with the car? goodness. I think I'm going to have... There's a lot of police all over the place right now. What's going on? I got a police car behind me.
Dork Gal says there is a YouTube channel called Emotion Plays Music Sings. At Moxieman says my neck is tweaked, car is done for.
Oh, so the car... Wow, the car was totaled and your neck is tweaked. So what happened? Did you get rear-ended? So like that kind of...
Dangerous says Uno at Moxieman. New York Gal says that's awful, Moxie sad face.
That is, that's terrible. Now when you say tweak...
Anna2594 says Moxie, sorry to hear that. At Moxieman says yeah, they got ticketed.
When you say tweaked, do you have like a neck brace and that kind of stuff on?
At Moxieman says yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's awful. I'm sorry to hear about that.
Dangerous says oh no.
How long will you have to wear that? Like, is it... I've never, fortunately never had an issue like
Dangerous says sorry.
that. This is great. This guy's walking on the side of the road. Not a good thing.
Moxieman says but muscular, no broken neck bones. One she questioned. Maybe age related or it's a slight fracture.
Well, at least I'm glad there's no broken bones or anything. Now, when you get rear-ended like that, do airbags and stuff go off? Like, I know if you hit something, if something hits you from the front, you get airbags. But what happens when, if you get rear-ended, there's... It's not good. Were you sitting in a light?
At Moxieman says mine did not from rear in these trucks. At Moxieman says turning into bank.
Oh. That's not good. That's not good. Did you have any, like, did you see it before it happened, or was it a complete shock? You know, like sometimes you look up and if you see them coming, you know that it's going to happen. It's a lot of force, though. You have no idea until it happens. I'm thinking if you were making a turn.
Moxieman says it was so slow, ocean lol.
Yeah. It's a lot of force, though, on your body.
Moxieman says I flew up to Siling and into steering wheel with belt on.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. That it would push you forward, too. I've only experienced that once, and it wasn't a very hard hit. I was driving one time. My mother was in...
Moxieman says I am in only operate pain, it's okay this am. At Moxieman says moderate.
Well, that's
At
good.
Toyo1973 says good morning chat, sorry to hear about the accident Moxieman.
Good morning. I had my mother in the car when it happened to me one time, and her seat just fell backwards. Like when we got hit, it wasn't that hard, but yeah, her seat went backwards. This was a long time ago. So I'm sure safety precautions are now in better shape.
Moxieman says older car.
When I was, the one I'm talking about was, yes. That was probably in the
Moxieman
90s.
says how far are you through your run?
We just finished. We dropped off Lenny's a minute ago, and so we're on our way to What a Day. And we've just got those two today, so we're about halfway through. I think I am going to stop and get gas today. What's this guy doing? Like, did they take you, I'm assuming since you have a neck brace, that they looked at it and all that kind of stuff. Did they take you to the hospital and stuff? Did you do the whole ambulance ride type of thing?
Dangerous says I'm sorry Craig. Hi Toyo. I am dangerous says did you cry Moxie?
And did the person who hit you, I guess they stopped, but are you going to be able to you know, like, did they have insurance and all that kind of stuff? Like, is that going to be all taken care of? Like, at least that can be a hassle if you've got somebody who doesn't have insurance.
Moxieman says oh yeah company fleet insurance.
Oh, well, at least that makes that part of the process a lot easier.
At Moxieman says I did just only when I got home AMD realized my truck is dying. At Moxieman says just a cat. am dangerous says yeah I woulda too. Dangerous says do you get to stay home from work today? I am dangerous says Moxieman.
I would hope so. Are you gonna, I guess, will you be able to get it like a rental car or something when you finally are able to get out? That's such a hassle. All the stuff you gotta do. I mean, what? Are you kidding me? You know, there's so many things you have to take care of when something like that happens. It's not, aside from, you know, injuries, you got everything else too. Out. We'll wait this out. Will it turn green before we get there? Will it? I don't know. I think we got a left-hand turn person. Maybe. And it's going to be a... Oh, we got it.
Says we got rear-ended but I was sleeping in the back. And I woke up crying in the hospital. I got scared.
So you were asleep when you got hit and then didn't wake up until you were in the hospital? That sounds like a pretty... These people are...
Court Gal says plans for today, Craig.
I'm not sure. I want to play with that video from yesterday. So hopefully when I get home, that'll be finished processing. So I can kind of chop that up.
Says, yeah. I slept through the whole thing.
And then it's going to be raining today, so I figure I want to do that.
Gal says lights back on.
I think this afternoon is going to be kind of an inside work day, so maybe do some stuff around the house and play with that video. So many of the steps when you're playing, well, you probably know this, when you're like have videos that you're uploading and editing and all that kind of stuff, you know, it takes a while to say, every step takes a little while. So that's good to do stuff around the house while that's going on. But Sawyer, I can't imagine, so you're in the car, you're asleep, and it gets hit. And that didn't wake you up? Like, I guess that sounds pretty like a pretty big collision.
Angela.co5 says hello, you're on the way back at 7.
Hey Angela. Well, we're not totally on the way back. We have to stop at What A Day first. We are in between delivery spots right now. We dropped off at Lenny's maybe about 15 minutes ago, 10 or 15 minutes ago, and now we're headed to What A Day. Drop off there.
Short Gal says that's terrifying, just a cat.
Yeah, it is. I can't imagine waking up, like not realizing you were in the hospital until you woke up. That wouldn't be good. I mean, I don't like waking up in the hospital even if I know I'm there.
Dangerous says yeah, that's why I cried. I didn't know where I was.
That's scary.
Dangerous says he hi NY gal. At Angela.co5b says was that a McDonald's?
We did pass McDonald's a little way back at that one traffic light, and then the next traffic light was a Wendy's. So we've passed. So, you know, there's 409. It looks like most of the gas stations have gone a little above $4 now. I'll be curious to see what BJ's gas is going to be today.
Gal says just a cat question. You are a male, correct? Not that it matters, but I am wondering. I am dangerous says lol, I'm a girl NY lol.
Just a cat.
Short gal says no way really. Okay. Good to know lol I was wrong. Dangerous says ye a surprise.
Surprise! I think, well, that Sawyer, the name Sawyer, my brother's name is actually Kelly. And that, it is confusing when you got
Dangerous
some
says
names.
lol. New York gal says I had a visual of a Korean male LMAO.
Korean. Oh my goodness. It is funny though, New York. The only time I
Short gal says oh just a cat is Sawyer. I never knew what you meant by that name. New York
yeah.
gal says that name is beautiful is a female name smiley face. I am dangerous says oh ma gosh I'm just red white girl law.
No, the only time
Short gal
I've
says,
wondered,
haha, LMFAO.
I remember like early on when, I mean months ago, I think when I heard your name was Sawyer, we were because your username used to be Sawyer, right? Didn't you have
Dangerous
Sawyer?
says my mom thought I was going to be a boy too since she already had 4 boys. And then surprise.
Surprise! But you know, the only time I questioned it was early on, because if you go to your website, your channel, you've got that military stuff in there, and I'm like, is Sawyer a guy? Isn't it? It's like that, I forget the acronym, some group, a naval thing, right? And then I realized, it's probably your brother that got you, isn't it? Isn't that, I think that's your channel that has that Navy thing.
I am dangerous says I'm close.
Here we go. Seems like there's a light out over here. It seems darker. Oh wow, we're really early. Normally I get here at 6:30. Which means we're probably going to get to the gas station right on time. The gas station doesn't open until 6:30.
Dangerous says you know but don't say I'm not supposed to say who I am online lol. New York gal says aw that's amazing. I am just a mix of everything little but just a pinch of white girl lol prov act more white than white ones though.
Our door is open. All right, let me grab the cow.
Dangerous says lol and wine.
All right, let's go around this way. There's my tray waiting for me. It's waiting for me. We're doing that, we're doing that. We're trying the new angle. Oh, this is the guy that brings me the trays. It's very nice. Remind me when we leave. I want to check the. I want to see if this thing is magnetic. I don't think it is. Donuts. They got a lot of leftover donuts in here. Here we go. The donuts are not magnetic. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that last statement. Well, they don't really get. They're good for a day. And I think they roll this into a refrigerator. At night, sometimes they're wrapped up before depending on when I get here. I think they wrap them up and put them in the refrigerator. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna check it now. I'm gonna take you guys. Let's see if it's magnetic. No, it is not. Oh, but the trays are. Oh, look, you could hang on the tray. That could be my new thing. All right, I'm gonna take you guys inside. Since all I'm gonna do now is roll that into the. Or you could just hang out here until I come back. What? Did somebody say they got a donut at Dunkin'? Hold on. All right, so we learned something today. The rack is not magnetic, but the trays are. I don't think that really benefits us very much. All right, here we go. Good morning. How are you doing? Good? All good? All right, have a good day, guys. Anything happened? Did I miss anything? I love tours. What are you guys talking about now? I gotta catch up. Oh, you know what? I could keep that. Even while I'm getting gas, I could put you guys outside. This is gonna become a major tool of mine. This was probably this thing right here. This was like the best thing I bought. All right, let's see what we got. I love.
Seaman says just a cat and friend.
You love tarts. Rack is an aluminum. Yeah, it's aluminum, exactly. Oh.
Dangerous says YAAA. At Moxieman says lols.
Lols. Now why did she put the L on it? You know what I mean? You know, I learned the trick. If you type in lowercase letters, LOL, she'll say lol. I don't know why she said lols, but anyway. But if you type in capital letters, I think she says LOL. Just FYI. So I know normally you're not supposed to type in caps.
Dangerous says lol.
I know you're not supposed to type in caps, but it would be.
Dangerous says lol.
Oh, nope, didn't work. Why does she, sometimes she says LOL.
At Moxieman says Craig, I was gonna skip why I heard that. I am dangerous says that was in caps. At Moxieman says lol.
I saw that. So it's not working. I don't know.
Moxieman says lol.
I've heard her say LOL. And I thought it was when the person typed in caps, but apparently she's getting a little attitude today. She's just saying whatever she feels like saying. She's making up, she's adding letters. She's not following the protocol. She's got a life of her own. She's like AI 2.0.
Short gal says LOL. I am
there we
dangerous
go.
says LOL.
There we go.
Moxieman says I heard it just a second ago too. At Susaner 207 says LOL.
See? It's working. Now, are you guys doing that?
says LOL.
Oh, so what do you do? Space it out? Ah, that's what it is. You got to do spaces.
Dangerous says lol. At Moxieman says LOL.
She thinks she can fool us. But we're on to her. Alright, so everything's done. Deliveries are all done. I got my trays.
Dangerous says LOL.
What? LOL.
Says the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. Moxieman says we're all here. I am dangerous says Craig just need to learn how to make candles now. I am dangerous says HII good morning Hellcat and Susaner.
Susaner and Hellcat. We're all here. We're all in the band.
Seaman says Craig is that guy who does all the dirty jobs on YouTube. Hellcat says good morning all.
Oh, like Mike Rowe? Dirty jobs. Yeah, they're the jobs that are going to be around.
Says good morning all. Dangerous says we're just waiting for the trumpet playing now.
It was so long ago, I have no idea. I wouldn't know what to do with the trumpet.
Pianette says hey there everyone.
Oh, look who's here. Janet has decided to step away from her world leaders and visit us today.
Dangerous says he good morning Janet.
Hobnobbing with the King of England. That is pretty amazing though. That is pretty amazing. Like you've been on the White House property now.
Says Janet. Activionet says haha Craig. I am dangerous says us little peoples. I am dangerous says law.
I mean, we don't have anybody running the country or running any nation in here right now.
Pianette says that's funny. It was a good event albeit cold and a bit rainy. At Moxieman says time runs everything.
That was very cool. How was your transportation, like back and forth? Was it make it out? I mean, I know getting down, you look like you got there fine. Were you done around noon? It looked like the event ended, that outdoor event ended like between 11:30 and 12.
Court Gal says good morning Janet. Activionet says yes done around noon. No problem walking to the metro.
That's good. Did they feed you? Breakfast at least? Oh, you know what I'm going to do today? When we get to
Pianette says I downloaded a Metro card onto my phone so I didn't have to play around with the Metro machine's speed.
Oh, that's good. That's very cool.
Activionet says no breakfast, just water and granola bars.
I mean, now that you're like basically an employee of the White House, an unpaid employee of the White House.
Dangerous says what souvenir did you get?
Well, I know you got to pass. Headache. Who's gonna?
Oxyman says headache. At Gigionet says the king drove right past me in his limo while pulling up in front of the White House.
That's pretty cool. I mean, that really is pretty awesome. I watched his speech.
Short Gal says employee. What do you do? At Moxieman says wow Janet. At Gigionet says I have the pass along with a program and the pin that they gave out to all guests. At Moxieman says that's history.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. I mean, seriously, it is a pretty big deal. Actually, though, the king, I watched his speech. And he seems real, I liked it. He seems like a really nice guy, actually.
Dangerous says niece Janet. At Moxieman says once in a lifetime time stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Gigionet says yeah it was really cool. Thanks. At Moxieman says Market Janet be honored.
Well, this was a pretty small group, right, Janet? Like, wasn't it the number of volunteers they needed a relatively small number for this event?
Gigionet says yes there were only 24 of us.
Wow. I thought it was supposed to be 25. Why didn't they call me?
Gigionet says versus the 100s for the Easter egg roll.
Yeah.
Anaku594 says Craig did you say something about what you are going to do today? At Gigionet says haha, they should have because there were a few slackers. I am dangerous
see?
says that's amazing Janet.
See, I would have been there if they picked me. Today, it's going to be kind of rainy, I think, later today, so I'm probably going to do indoor stuff. I got to play with that video from yesterday. It wasn't finished processing last night, so I want to play around with that a little bit.
Gigionet says thanks at Just a Cat.
I don't think I'll be in the yard today because it's going to rain. Oh, I think I should, when I pump the gas,
New York Gal says sounds like fun Janet. Can you take pics? At Moxieman says take us in the rain and misery we deserve it. I am dangerous says Craig you didn't get clearance cause of UX expertise.
Probably. That's probably what it is. They probably discovered something from my past. I don't know what, but there might be something. But today when we get gas, I'm going to demonstrate how to pump gas because I just found out that the people in New Jersey have just been given the ability to pump their own gas. Did you all know that? You know how New Jersey was a state where you weren't allowed to pump your own gas? But just this month, it became legal for you to pump your own gas in New Jersey.
dangerous, says lol. At Donaku594 says was just thinking it must be challenging for you delivering in the rain. At Gigionet says probably the bullets holes in your car. Haha. I am dangerous says make a short of that. At Susaner207
I should, right?
says no way. It's about time. At Moxieman says like China. New York gal says really. I am dangerous says lol Janet.
Yeah, I saw it. I don't know why I looked it up the other day, but I looked it up, and it just, ironically enough, it just happened this month. How long have we been pumping our own gas? Like since this 80s, right? I mean, or 70s maybe. I don't even remember. I do kind of remember that it happened, but I don't remember when you could not pump your own gas, really. Does anybody? But there was some kind of law in New Jersey that did not allow people to pump their own gas. And it was just changed. I was going to be funny. I brought some rubber gloves, and I was going to like act like you should put rubber gloves on when you grab them. I don't think I'm going to do that though. That'd be kind of stupid. Do you think that's stupid?
Short gal says it's not fun delivering in the rain lol. At Moxieman says yeah late 70s they started pre-K by 1984 it's all of Illinois. I am dangerous says who here pumps gas. At Angela.Co5B says hi just a cat. At Angela.Co5B says did we get gas?
Nope, we're gonna get it now.
At Gigionet says I'm pretty excited about that change in NJ. At Moxieman says no Craig you are not a doctor. I am dangerous says he Angela. At Angela.Co5B says Popeyes. At Donaku594 says I did not realize it is safer not to use cell phone when pumping. New York gal says I didn't know that about NJIM sheltered L. Mint blown.
That is true. I probably shouldn't have the cell phone out when I'm pumping gas. What does she do? Did Rosie just like catch up to a whole lot of chat? Oh, there's my girl. My girl's out walking around. She's out walking around. All right, where should I go? I think I can pick any place I want now because we have the new setup. Oh look, here's a lady. I don't know if I want to pump gas right by this lady, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Let's make sure that I'm on. Am I still on? See, this is new Speedify capability.
Steven says yes, we all talked a lot. At Donaku594 says yes, Rosie her caught my breath. I am dangerous says a lot.
All right, let's see. So you guys can still.
Dangerous says yes, still on.
Still on. Okay, this is cool. So, here we go.
New York gal says how come New Jersey wouldn't allow you to pump your own gas?
I don't know. It was a law. I'll look it up again. And I'm gonna make a short. Probably not today because this thing is going to take for. Oh, here goes my girl. Look.
Seaman says if that's gas price I am coming.
Here we go. Get ready. You're going to see her. There she is with
At
the.
Donaku594 says safety.
With the safety vest on. That's my girl.
At Moxieman says Colorado too.
She's out. My girl's out on the wild. Okay, now. All right. So here we go. I'm going to teach. I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you how to pump gas, everybody. So anybody from
Dangerous says give her a cookie.
New Jersey. Here we go. Let's put it right there like that. Are we good? I think I'm good.
Co5B says did you bring a cookie?
No, I didn't bring one today.
At Susaner207 says the 1949 Retail Gasoline Dispensing Safety Act 5 the 1949 Retail Gasoline Dispensing Safety.
All right, guys, here we go. So this is how This is how you pump gas for all of the New Jersey people that have just been given the ability to do this. This is how you pump gas. Now, if you're buying gas from BJ's,
Says Suzanne asked Alexa.
so if you're
I am dangerous, says Dave. She's here.
If you're-
You don't have a cookie in your pocket.
if you're buying gas from BJ's, you have to scan your card first. So that way you get the discount. Because their gas price currently is $3.89. We're going to get 15 cents off of that, right? So you do that, then you put your card in, and you wait a second. Please wait, processing, blah, blah, blah. Do not remove your card. Then all of a sudden it's going to say authorizing, do not remove your card. Please remove your card. So then you pull the card out. And now it says, please wait.
You good?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right.
Oh, look, you want to say hi to my, I live stream.
Oh.
There you go. There she is. So now it says okay. So you pull the nozzle out, and you hit which gas you want. Okay.
Dangerous, says he.
We're getting regular. It lights up. See, I should have had this back here so you could see.
Gal says, ha ha ha, lady YY woo woo, she's a lady YY.
Look, so here's how this works, right? So, can you see that? That's how the nozzle goes into the car. And you shouldn't have your phone out you shouldn't smoke, by the way, that's the key. Don't smoke while you're pumping gas, don't smoke.
I'm getting ready to start now. I'll see you later. All right, see you later.
What was in the air? Four, 3, 8, 0. What does that mean? All right.
York Gal says she came over hoping for a cookie.
Probably. She's probably all bummed out now. All right.
Said why are words backwards?
So now when you pull the pump out, you put it back in here. And then it says, would you like a receipt? You press yes or no. You get your receipt. I don't think.
At Moxman says everyone runs to the donuts man.
I don't think that's going to work for a.
I am dangerous says in case of emergency there's that fire extinguisher.
All right. Let's do this. I don't think that video is going to work for. I didn't get really good footage for like training material. Here we go. We're ready to roll.
Dangerous says oh my gosh, she wants you Craig. She came over to you. Oh my gosh, how exciting.
See, she's always, no, she's out walking around today. It's early. She's got to do all her like morning stuff. You gotta.
Gal says Craig I would have so many questions if I didn't know how to pump gas.
I know. I think I might have to get some different footage though. I mean, that was fun, but I think like I have to have a spot where it's weird because you're really not supposed to have your phone on while you're pumping gas. So how can you film it? You know what I mean?
Dangerous says, did you show where the nozzle goes?
I did. I had I might have enough if I chop it up a little bit. I might have enough to put a short together. I mean, it's not like I'm creating a...
Pianet says the no cell phone should be your last comment when you make the video. Haha. New York gal says, I am kidding, you did a great job.
I did show the nozzles part. Maybe I'll take some extra footage of like opening the gas what do you call that? Where you put the gas in the car. What do you call it? The gas door? The fuel opening? The nozzle nook? What do you call that little area where you put the gas in?
Seaman says, I felt bad. I had AW super rich women all scared to jump gas and serially stressed. I gladly helped. God, she told me her driver passed away and she has no family, so sad.
Oh.
I am dangerous, says Gas Cap.
Gas cap, that's it. Well, that was nice, Moxie, to help her out. I mean, you wouldn't know if you've never pumped gas your whole life. You really aren't going to know what to do, and it is kind of a scary thing. I mean, it's, you know, what if you pull away while the nozzle's still in the car? That's not good. What if it's still pumping? You know, you don't want to pull the nozzle out of the, I keep wanting to call it a gas hole, but that doesn't sound right. But you don't want to pull the nozzle out of there while it's...
it was dangerous.
New
York gal says, very true.
It could be dangerous. It is kind of scary. I gotta admit though...
Dangerous says, aw, glad you helped Moxie.
I gotta admit though, I kind of like the smell of gasoline. Does anybody else like the smell of gasoline? I mean, not like super intense, but just a mild whiff. I was gonna say they should make a candle.
It says true gentleman at Moxie. At Moxieman says, yeah.
They should make a candle that smells like gasoline. The perfect combination, the smell of gasoline and a flame.
Moxieman says, I drink it, might as well smell it.
You drink it. Oh my goodness. That'll wake you up. No, it is very dangerous. It is very dangerous.
Gal says no, but in little school I like the smell of glue sticks, lol, they smelled like Fritos. At Gideonet says, I learned today that Craig can eat 2 pounds of yogurt in a day and loves the smell of gasoline.
Both of those statements are true. Both of those statements are true. It sounds like a lot.
Dangerous says, I don't like the smell of anyone's gas.
Oh, this is not good.
Dangerous says hee.
Oh, that is so sad. I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like it. All right, hold on, everybody. I'm going to be emotional.
Dangerous says, oh no.
Yeah,
At Moxieman says, I ate so many boxes of Dan and your guru, I had stacks of the box tops and got a kidney stone. I am dangerous says, cut that part out.
That was sad. That must have just happened recently.
At Moxieman says, who pet?
Who pet?
Dangerous says they're at the Rainbow Bridge now.
No, it was a deer. It was a deer. Poor little guy. It was probably a young deer.
Dangerous says deers can go on the bridge too. I am dangerous says I think.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
At Moxieman says I seen a deer trying to wake up the dead other.
It's all say, really? Have you seen that happen? Really? That would be very sad. I think I would actually cry if I saw that. All right, I got a car coming up behind me. So we still have the same people there.
Dangerous says the terrible.
That is terrible. I mean, that's almost like,
Moxieman says yes, I still see that. I am dangerous says yeah, I would ugly cry.
I definitely would cry. That's like a real life version of Bambi right there. Now see, I think if I had hit that deer, if that was me, right? Like the deer I hit at the end of last year flew off the road when I hit it.
Seaman says I did cry. Am I that weak? I am a soldier, we don't cry.
If I had hit that deer though, I think I would have like called somebody or something to get it off the road. I wouldn't want to leave my deer. If I accidentally hit a deer, I don't think I'd want to leave it laying in the road like that. I don't know. I don't know what I would do.
Seaman says they tag it and give it for meat if there's TA me.
Yeah, like, well, and they will come and pick that deer up pretty quick.
Dangerous says no, it's totally okay. They teach that now. It's important for soldiers to cry.
Oh, do they really? I'm very emotional. I'm like ridiculously emotional. Oh, now they have a new piece of farm equipment out here on display.
I'm dangerous says yeah.
I don't know what that is. $389. So it's what's 89 minus 15? 74, right? So I paid $3.74 for gas. That's not bad.
Dangerous says what's going to happen to the deer? Just stay there.
No, this is Carroll County in Maryland, and I must say they're pretty good about their maintenance of those types of situations. So they will come and pick it up. They're pretty quick about it. I mean, they're very quick about it if it's on, even if it's the deer is on the side of the road. So I would think if it's in the...
New York gal says here you have to call it in if you hit a deer. New York gal says here you have to call it in if you hit a deer.
I think you should call it in if you hit a deer.
At Moxieman says call it into PM and they arrange it.
Yeah, we probably should call it in.
Moxieman says PD. New York gal says not sure why that's sent twice. I am dangerous says oh okay.
No, sometimes she reads stuff twice. I've noticed that. Every now and then. If she feels like something needs to be emphasized, she'll read it twice. telling you, she's got her own mind going on right now.
Seaman says no, the post went TW8CE. Dangerous says Rosie does what she wants. Okay. Snaps her fingers. Lol.
Next thing you know, she'll
Gal says 74.
she'll just start changing. What does 74 mean? I always have somebody behind me on this road. I hate that because I would stop.
Gal says, oh, I am behind 80 to 15.
I'm behind 80 to 15. I'm really confused. Oh, I said what's 89 minus 15. Oh, yeah. Now I get it. Yeah, I was trying to figure out, I was backing into the price of what we paid for gas. So we paid $3.74 for gas. Now I got it. Whew. I asked the question, and then when you answered it, I acted like I didn't know what you were talking about.
Dangerous says lol. New York Gal says caught up now. At Moxieman says yeah, NY Gal you are delayed a bit. At Moxieman says yep. New York Gal says I am sorry.
No, you're fine. It wasn't that long ago. I should have remembered. There are a lot of little cows in this field. Like, they must have had a lot of babies born this year.
Seaman says why does it look like you're speeding real fast in a semi-truck?
I don't know. I'm not going that fast. It does look like I'm going faster than I am. Maybe I am going faster than I thought.
I am dangerous says right. Seaman says like an Evert view. I am dangerous says yeah we look really high up.
I don't know why that is. Maybe because you're not the hood.
Seaman says good camera position.
The camera's in the same spot, but I think it must just be that you can't see the edge of the hood anymore. We're back. There's a lady. Picked up some donuts, probably on her way to work. Or pastries. You know, people do buy a lot of cakes and things. Cookies.
Dangerous says I like it. At Gigionet says I like it too. At Moxieman says like a TR7E first person view. I am dangerous says this went way too fast again.
I know. It's 2 hours. We left about 2 hours ago. So that is normal. Yeah, do you think I tilted this differently?
Prisoner 207 says have a great day all.
All right, Suzanne. You do the same thing. I hope everybody has a good day. Moxie, I hope you feel better. rest your neck. And what is today? So I won't be driving tomorrow. It's my day off. But I'll be back Friday. So I hope you all have a good day tomorrow. And stay warm. Yeah, definitely feel better, Moxie.
Pianet says,
Rest
have a
up.
great day, my friends. At Angela.co5b says, trip over so sad. I am dangerous says, feel better, Moxieman. At Moxieman says, film anyway. I am dangerous says,
Anyway,
thank
I
you,
might.
Greg.
I might.
Good
You never
day
know.
all.
You never
At
know.
Pianet says, take care, Moxie. At Moxieman says, peace everyone, I do care. At Angela.co5b says, have a good day, everyone.
All right,
New York
guys.
Gal says, be
Be
safe.
safe out there. See you later.